And good day, everybody, and welcome to another edition of High Heat on the web. Nice to have you with us as we discuss what's happening as far as the world of baseball is concerned. And you see him right there is our good buddy Joe Girardi. He manages the Phillies, of course, the Phillies, the Eagles, the Flyers, and the 76ers. Put a great video together in Philadelphia for all the first responders and the health officials. So Joe involved with that with the Phillies, and he says hello. Joe, welcome. Hope you're staying healthy. How are you today, okay?
I'm good, Chris. Doing very well. Yeah, that was a video that actually brought a tear to my eye because everyone in that video that's shown, a first responder, has some relationship with a 76er, a Philly, a Flyer, or an Eagle employee. So it just shows you the connection of the people that are in sports and how they're putting their life on the line. It's just an incredible video.
Good job. We'll have to keep an eye on that. All right, the second thing I thought of is Hank Steinbrenner, who passed away last week. I mean, I'm sure you knew him pretty well. Instrumental in giving you that job there in 2008, Hank and Hal, with George there, not 100%. Give me some thoughts on Hank's passing, the Yankee co-owner. Let me hear your thoughts there.
Yeah, very sad day for Yankee land. Hank had a real love and passion for the game and really understood the game and always wanted to talk about the game. So I loved when he came around. We saw him a lot more in spring training because that was his home and we would talk baseball. And for him to show the confidence in me, I truly appreciate it. I'm extremely grateful and I'll never forget him.
There you go. All right, number three, you had spring training for, essentially about 75% of it, a new team. Did you feel that you got fairly well acclimated with the Phillies there in Clearwater before this pause? Let me get a sense on your first spring training shortened with the Phillies. Go ahead.
I did. I really felt I got a pretty good feel of the whole organization, the kids that had the possibility of helping us during the course of the season. The one thing that we did miss was getting to a smaller group and having more time to spend with the guys that you were going to see every day, because we had 70 plus people in camp. I think we'd only cut it down to 60, but I got a really good feel of our organization and how it works. And I was really pleased with the young players and how far along that they were and how prepared they were to play the game. So to me, I thought that was really good.
From an injury perspective, McCutchen and Arrieta, did they play a spring training game up to March 11th? Where were they as far as their comeback was concerned from being, injured there in 2019?
McCutchen had not, but he's doing much, much better. He's itching to get back to spring training because he's getting tired of seeing the rehab guys. I talked to him the other day. Jake Arrieta is fine. He pitched. He actually pitched that last day that we were.
Oh, he did.
Came out with a little bit of a stiff shoulder, but he's doing great. Tommy Hunter was another guy that we thought that at some time in April we would get him back. So we'll get him back whenever we start, which I think is important to our bullpen.
All right, and you're going to have some version of spring training. That's going to be a little different if we do get it back. Probably, somewhere between 2 and 4 weeks. I don't want to speculate, but it'll be a little different feel. And you'll be, a little bit of a disadvantage with the new team and trying to figure out where the pieces fit in a short period of time before games, if we get lucky, start. Give me your thoughts on that process. Let me hear it.
Yeah, it's going to be short like it was. I believe it was in 1995 when we came back. It was shorter. And, that was a good thing about having those 4+ weeks. I think that we were there. I got a pretty good idea of who was going to be on our team. We do have some competitions for bench players and maybe some platoon situations, some relievers in the bullpen, and we're going to have to iron that out fairly quickly. But I think we'll have a pretty good hold on it by the end of spring training.
All right, yourself. Yeah, I know you're down in Florida. You're a pretty active guy. Likes to do, weight training, run and all those kinds of things. You got a son who's a very good player. Very good player in his own right. I mean, you're cooped up. You're doing things. You're an active guy. Let me get a little rundown on how you're handling this.
The good thing about South Florida is you can get outside every day. So I'm getting ready to go for a run, and I'll do some backpedaling and a bunch of different things. And I work out 4 days and then take a day off. And it's all body weight sort of stuff. I'm not in a weight room, which is okay. I've kind of taken a liking to it, thinking that maybe this is what I'll do when we do get back and have the opportunity to go to the weight room. My kids, I'm keeping very busy. Lena, my youngest, is a basketball player, and we're going to shoot 500 shots today. We're going to make 500 shots.
Wow.
And Dante, we'll play long toss in the streets, and we were hitting up till a certain point. We can't do that, but we're still doing some baseball things, and he's training outside as well. So it's pretty good.
Are you one of those guys you're a good sports fan? Are you one of those guys who watches old-time classic NBA, baseball, tennis?
Tennis.
You've been watching that kind of stuff or not?
My wife is like you. She has a real love for tennis. So I've seen a lot of the old Wimbledons, French Opens. I've seen a lot of Rafael Nadal and Federer and Djokovic. And so, we have stuff on. I've watched football games, college football games over and over. There's been a bunch of baseball games on MLB, whether it was Carlton Fisk Day that I watched and a Greg Maddux Day that I watched. I want to see sports. So I'm going to go back because I don't remember everything that happened. So to me, in a sense, some of it's like watching it for the first time.
I had Maddux on here last week. It was his birthday. I think it was last Tuesday. And I specifically asked him, what did Girardi hit there in the 5th or 6th inning, whatever it was, when he got that big hit up the right center field? And he said he hit a high fastball. So my son and I went to go look, and sure enough, it looked to be a high fastball in Game 6 of '96. Joe, how about that at bat for a sec? Let me hear.
Yeah, actually, that at bat, I really thought that I might get the safety squeeze from Joe Torre because we had done it so many times. He did it like 13 times during the course of the season. But yeah, he left one that came back too much across the plate. And as you know, I wasn't the most patient hitter, so I was looking for the first thing that I could swing at and that I could hit. And fortunately, Grissom was playing in and didn't get a good jump on the ball, and I hit it over his head. But Greg Maddux remembers everything. He was the most competitive guy that I was ever around. He was always studying the game. He was gracious to me to where he taught me, he taught me how to call games. He would sit and talk to me about it and say, just follow me, kid. And I'm very appreciative of that.
I was watching the MLB Network the other night, and I saw the Yankee – no, it was on Fox. Matter of fact, it was on Fox. The Yankee Padre in Game 1 of '98. Yankees were in trouble in that first game,
Yes.
Vaughn hit and I said to him, I wanted to watch that 7th inning again, and, of course, Knobloch hits the home run to tie the game. And I still can't figure out how Richie Garcia called that pitch to Tino a ball before he hit the grand slam against Langston. Joe, how about that for a sec?
Yeah, there are always those moments in games that you say, wow, if it would have just went the other way, would we have won? You see it a number of times in football, a penalty or non-penalty, a catch, a non-catch. In basketball, was it a travel? And it can make such a huge impact. So, yeah, maybe we got a little break there, but Tino took advantage of it. Tino still had to hit the ball at the ballpark, and he did that. And I'm sure you could look at that whole game and you could say, well, that was probably a strike that, the Yankees didn't get. It just happened to be a big one.
And I know that your daughter and everything else, you told me there before we got going here today, you've been into the Jordan documentary. So you got 2 young kids, who didn't see Jordan play. They got a little appreciation of him now, how good he is. Let me get your take on that. Go ahead.
Yeah, we have arguments about who's the greatest basketball player of all time. And we talk about it. But, I tell him about how he made people around him better and how he really pushed and how determined he was to be great. He was cut from his basketball team and he went to work and ended up making it and being a superstar. But it's also really entertaining, to how Phil Jackson was able to mold all those personalities. I mean, I think this next one that's coming up, episode 3, is talking about Dennis Rodman saying, I need a vacation, right?
Right.
I need a vacation during the season. I can't imagine a player coming up to me and saying that. Now, if there was a teammate that I would have played of that might have said that, it might have been David Wells, right? David Wells might have been that guy that went to, I just need a 2-day vacation to go do something. But it's really fascinating what drove him and what made him so great. And everyone knew right away when he got in the NBA that, this guy's coming.
And the competitive juices. And finally, Joe, you got the David Cohn. We got a little celebration of Cohn here coming up. And you caught, I believe you caught that perfect game at Yankee Stadium against the Expos, of course, with, somehow, some way, Larson and Yogi in the building. And a perfect game, and against a tired Expo team that you took advantage of on that hot afternoon. Give me some thoughts there for a second.
Yeah, it was interesting. That was something in the schedule that I had never seen. It was on a Sunday. It was a day game, and the Expos played in Baltimore the night before. So it was really strange how the schedule worked. But I got to tell you, all the games that I played, I was as nervous in that game, the 7th, 8th, and 9th inning of any game that I ever played because
Really? Yeah.
of what it meant. And there really aren't second chances for that in a sense. You know, you get one chance at that. You know, if you lose a World Series game 1, there's game 2, and there's game 3, and there's game 4, and you got a chance. But this was something that I was extremely nervous, and I wanted it so badly for him because what he had meant to our team in '96. He had that no-hitter through 7 in Oakland on his first start back from his aneurysm surgery.
Right.
Joe had to tell him that's it. The prize is in October. It's not right now. We need you healthy. And for him to get that chance again was really, really amazing. But there were some great plays, and I'll never forget the play that Ricky Leday made. I think it was in the 8th inning that David gave him that look, right? That look like, oh, you're lucky you didn't screw that up because I would have been all over you. But it's a very memorable day, and I think it's extremely memorable, even more memorable because of who was in the audience with Larson and Yogi.
And I'll tell you, who's got the ball that has all 4 guys on it? Cohn, you signed at least with Larson. There has to be a couple of baseballs out there that have all 4 names on that ball from that game. Is that correct?
Yeah, I'm sure there is. And I tell you what, one of my favorite pieces from that is that day, I don't know if it was Old Timers Day, that we all took the picture. You know, it was the Wells, Larson, and Cohn perfect games, and we all got together on top of the mound and took a picture, and that's a memorable day for me, and it's something that, you know, I cherish, and I'm just so fortunate to be a part of.
Well, hopefully we'll get some baseball, get some cherished moments this year, Joe. Love to see you. Have a nice run, and we will talk to you soon. Thanks for a few minutes here today. Always a pleasure.
I do have one question for you. Did you see the 2 people in Italy playing tennis across the buildings?
I did. Boy, you are a good fan. Yes, I did. I did see that, hitting backhands and forehands. That was the most unique rallies I've ever seen. That was on the tennis channel the other day, and I did see it. You are a good tennis fan.
I think when we get back, you have to try that, and someone videotape it.
Hit the 2-handed backhand across the street on the top of a building. I did see it, Joe. Well done. Keep in touch, pal. Appreciate it.
Have a great day. Thanks for talking.
You got it, Joe Girardi. Good to have you with us. Good job out of Moses. Rich Savino popped in today. We will see you next week. We'll get some managers on and have some fun. Stay safe. High Heat.